Howdy do ya, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Was That the Light, a podcast with myself, Jeff Braun, and my comedy comrade, Frankie the Kid Comedian.
Hey everyone, really happy to be back, and quite honestly, a little bit surprised, but yeah, really happy at the end of the day.
Indeed. Yeah, I wanted to give a big shout out to all the fans, everybody who tuned in for the first episode. From the bottom of our hearts, big thank you. We appreciate you for keeping this thing going.
It's funny, I actually had an ex-girlfriend call me up after listening to the pod, right? Turns out she wanted money, obviously, but you know, I think it shows we're reaching the masses here, right?
For sure, yeah, I get that for sure. I actually think that's a pretty good first topic, you know, for today's episode. Ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
How many ex-girlfriends do you have?
How many ex-girlfriends do I have?
Yeah, how many ex-girlfriends do you have?
Okay. Let me think. Does it count if we never consummated the relationship?
Yeah, I mean, however you want to, define it, it's up to you.
Got it. Okay, then I would say probably about 50.
Whoa, 50? Look at Mr. Prince Charming over here, huh?
Yeah. Wait, what can I say? Being a world famous kid comedian does come with a couple perks.
Yeah. Well, speaking of perks, my ears perked up when I saw the exciting news, Frank. Really exciting for you. Congratulations on your film. Your film started filming. I think it started filming last week, right? So that's really exciting, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been an exciting time. It's been a long time coming. We've been shopping this thing around for a couple of years, and first COVID, and then the writers' strike, and then cancel culture. But ultimately, we finally got to buy it, and we started filming, and we couldn't be more excited.
You mind giving everyone at home and me a little bit too, kind of what the film is about?
Yeah, absolutely. So for some context first, a couple years ago, I was invited to attend a movie premiere of the movie Wham. It's a horror movie, if you remember. It was about a really scary sheep, Wham or something. And I see the movie, right? And in attendance was the screenwriter, Valdemar Johansson. I ended up meeting up with him. Turns out he was a really big fan of mine, which does happen from time to time. And big fan of mine. And he said, if you have a project you want to work on together, let's collaborate, right? It turns out, as luck would have it, right, I had written a screenplay a couple years back in undergrad, right? And I sent it over to him. He reads it a couple days later. I swear to God, Jeff, you're really not going to believe this. Call it parallel thinking or complete. It was a complete coincidence. I don't know what you want to call it, right? But anyway, it turns out I had accidentally written beat for beat my version of the movie Goodfellas, but instead of the mafia, it was the Yakuza, right? Which is crazy because I had never seen the movie Goodfellas, mind you, and I had also never been to Japan.
Wow, that's incredible. That's like painting the Mona Lisa the first time you pick up a paintbrush.
Jeff, I swear to God, that's exactly what Valdemar said, right? Mona Lisa, right? Anyway, we get together, we bang out a new script in a couple days, and that's how Omaha was born. So Omaha is about a world-famous kid comedian named Sammy who goes on a road trip with his longtime friend Jay, and their past comes into focus, and their future comes under question.
Yeah, and I saw you got some pretty big names attached to the film. That's super exciting too.
Yeah, we got an incredible cast right now. First of all, we have Haley Richardson just signed on. She's from White Lotus. Ivan Yogia, he was from Choose Love and Victorious, right? And also Madison Bailey from Outer Banks. And we got a couple other surprise cameos that you'll have to watch to find out. I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll drop a couple of hints on the podcast, but yeah, you'll have to come and watch to find out for that one.
Wow, what an ensemble! That's awesome. Well, I know I speak for everyone where I say we can't wait to watch it in theaters. I'll be first in line. Let me ask you this: how does the film industry compare to the kid comedy industry?
Well, yeah, there are some challenges. There are some challenges for sure. You know, a lot of times my ethical compass kind of comes into conflict with show business. For example, I have a personal rule that I've gotten a lot of flack from kind of the, you know, I don't want to say the Whipple media or the Whipple whatever, but I won't kiss a woman on camera who isn't my wife, right? Because I respect the sanctity of marriage.
Oh, Frank, I had no idea you were married.
Oh, no. I'm not married, but you know, I wouldn't kiss a woman on camera if I'm not married to them. So what we had to do is we had to get a priest on retainer. And anytime there was a scene where I wanted to kiss or I was kissing a woman, we would, in the morning they would marry us, and then in the evening they would divorce us, right? So that was, yeah, I mean, it's hard to, you know, it's hard to go up against kind of the big machine who says, no, you shouldn't be marrying and divorcing these women every single day just so you can kiss them, right?
Frankie, that's mighty brave of you to take such a principled stance like that, especially in the face of adversity.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been an increased cost of production for sure, because we have to have the priest on retainer to do the marrying and the divorcing, because, you know, we have a tendency to add scenes of me kissing women pretty often, depending on if the script or the story calls for it. And yeah, it definitely wasn't cheap to have this priest kind of hanging around every day. So yeah, but that's kind of the sacrifices you make if you want to hold by your moral, ethical standard.
I think if the industry had more people like you in it, I think that it would have a much, you know, it wouldn't have the slimy reputation it has now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, well, I certainly like to think so, at least, Jeff, but I appreciate you saying that. But just a heads up, we are filming some more kind of involved scenes for Omaha starting next week, where it might require me to be a little bit wait to, or maybe skip a couple podcasts. Just wanted to give you a heads up, but the timing might be a little weird for my availability upcoming.
Yeah, for sure. We totally understand that. We get it's kind of a joint custody thing. You here a little bit. Just happy to have you for the time that we have you. But moving on a little bit, I actually have some exciting news to share myself. I don't know, Frankie doesn't know this yet, but I'm happy to report that I joined my very first improv. Frankie, I'm sorry. Would you mind not drinking right now? Sorry. Yeah, I'm nervous about YouTube kind of flagging it for alcohol. Or
yeah, but I thought we were on a podcast, so they won't be able to see it.
Yeah, no, I know, but we got the cameras, and we they'll pick that up.
Jeff, I swear to God, I literally did not notice the cameras until right now. I don't even, was I wearing pants in the first episode?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you were wearing pants. We can check that, but yeah, you I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so don't worry about that. But lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, fatherhood.
Yeah. What about fatherhood?
Yeah, I just don't think fatherhood's not something we should forget about.
I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. Well, before we end the show, I wanted to introduce a new segment. I think it could be fun. We got some really cool questions that were submitted to us after the first episode. So I think it'd be fun to read them aloud and see if we can give them an answer.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Great. Let me pull them out here. So this first one is from Ryan M. Hey, JNF, love the new pod. I want to ask, what's both of your favorite food? Tough question, Ryan. I would say it's a toss-up for me between sushi and pizza, I would say. Yeah. What about you, Frank?
Favorite food? That's a good question. For me, it's a toss-up between the oatmeal with the little dinosaur eggs in it. You remember that, right? Or shark fin soup.
Good choices. Good choices. Next question is from Marilyn A. Big Waddle fan. Listen to it every day on my commute. Who is the most famous person you were friends with? Well, that's an easy one for me, Marilyn. I'm sitting right next to them.
Oscar Pistorius.
Awesome. And the last question for the day, this one's from Rodney R. Will there ever be guests on this podcast? Frankie, I can answer this one. All I'll say is make sure you tune in for next week's episode, because there may or may not be exactly that. Yeah, Frank, that kind of wraps up this week's episode. Just wanted to say real quick.
See, everybody, please share this with your friends, and don't forget to see Omaha out in theaters eventually.